Welcome back. All right, so to have fun with it, I figured for the other half of me looking at my hats, I might as well wear one of the Entertainment Guy jerseys. So this is my Imperial Star Destroyers jersey, which I'm very proud of, and a Boba Fett hat that if I wear it too long, it really hurts. It's too tight, and there's no real, yeah, it's an odd hat, but it looks cool, so that's what's really mattering. And it'll keep that idea alive that maybe the entertainment guy, the hockey guy are two different people, and maybe, just maybe, this is being recorded while the hockey guy's not here. Think about it. All right, so we're going to start off with Nashville, and we're going to start off with this one, which to me looked a lot like the secondary from the Boston Bruins in the 80s. When they debuted this, I remember thinking, that looks awfully familiar. This, which might be one of the ugliest hats I have, but man, I tell you, can't lose me in a crowd when I'm wearing that. But a lot of yellow with these hats, even though blue I think is the better color for Nashville. Don't shoot me. And there, so yeah, that's their reverse retro, of course. This is, as I mentioned in the last video, I got a lot with this on the bill, on the brim. And this one that I like this one a lot. I think this one's actually a lot of fun. But again, is there a beautiful Nashville hat? I don't think there is. With New Jersey, we start off with the monstrosity, proving I have a lot of these. So yeah, these are great. And again, I got them all on sale. Got them all cheap. This proving that I have more than one Kansas City hat. I have two Kansas City Scout jerseys, two Kansas City Scout hats, and of course that's a Kansas City Scouts pennant right there. So a lot of Kansas City for somebody who has never been to Kansas City. New Jersey, of course, this is a design I have a lot of teams in. I get a lot of questions about the teams I have a lot, or the designs I have a lot of teams in. I don't think they're available online anymore. This is an Adidas, I believe. Yep, it is. This one here, Fanatics, of course, this is the reverse retro. I loved when this hat came out because it's a nice one with red and green. This one here, Hatland, I got a lot with this design as well. And I do like that. And whether it's red and green or red and black, I think New Jersey's logo looks fantastic. So there's that. All right, Islanders, starting off with this. Again, similar, that same design with the second logo there on the brim of the hat looks fantastic. Oh, the ugliness. And when you have the fisherman hat and it's on an ugly design and you got that logo, it's just everything comes out perfect. This might be the most perfect hat that I have in terms of ugliness. Everything about this hat is ugly. Even though they're bringing that logo back, of course, for the reverse retro, I have a hat already for it. In fact, I have two hats with the fisherman on the front. The other one's not nearly as ugly. So I had to show that one off. And then we've got the New York Islanders here. I love this, the way this logo is done. I think this was one of the draft hats, but I don't have very many of this design. Who decided camouflage orange would work? I'm not sure what you camouflage with when it's orange, but there's the camo. There's camouflage on the brim too. And when I saw those, I was like, I gotta have those. And again, got it for dirt cheap. And then they're reverse retro, which I appreciated because it is the same colors that they had in the early 2010s as opposed to the colors they have now. And so this matches a lot of jerseys that this one does not. So I was actually quite happy with the reverse retro setup with the Islanders from that perspective. Rangers. So with the Rangers, there it is again. That ugly. I said I had a lot of them, and I'm proving in this video, as I did in the last one, I have quite a few of them. This reverse retro, I absolutely love that logo. I would like to see this logo on the front of a jersey. Gotta say, if they don't want to use the other coat of arms that they have as their regular logo, then use that. Just throw that on the front. Do it in a silver font if you want. Sure, it works. This, of course, a throwback style. This works as well as a main logo. Like that one quite a bit. I don't have very many jerseys, though, that works with. It is something I take into consideration when I do a video. Again, this one, and I was collecting these when I met Yvonne, so that's how long ago I was collecting these. It would be 6 years ago I was collecting as many with this design as possible. And I've always liked Rangers on a red background. I've seen mock-ups and fashion jerseys where there's Ranger jerseys in red. They look nice. So maybe at some point in time we get a red Rangers jersey. We'll see, right? Senators. So with Ottawa, this hat I got recently. Got that through the NHL store. So if you're wondering where I got it, that's where I got it. It's an Adidas. This one here is the reverse retro. And how you can tell, these here are red. That's it. It's a red outline. That's the only way you can tell that's the reverse retro, and it's a little more sparkly than the regular one. It is too bad that I don't really have an excuse to wear these hats anymore. This is that ugly design like I showed you guys from Nashville. But I like the loud and garish. I think it's kind of fun. And there's, of course, again, on the black background. And I think that looks absolutely fantastic like that. If they had done the logo in that kind of look, I think it would have gone over quite well. And then there's their current logo. So there you go. You can see it's gold instead of red with those there. That's all they changed. That's really it. And yeah, that's a Fanatics for you. Or Adidas, I should say. Arrow ready. Even the Adidas, the new designs are kind of boring when you look at hats. Of course, with Philadelphia, there's not a lot of variants because their logo never changes. I mean, people have speculated maybe they'll do a gritty jersey at some point. I don't think so, but you just never know. The furry shoulders would be weird. Anyways, so I really like this one a lot, where it's got the second logo right here. I've mentioned with these, and again, I'm just showing you guys, yes, I have this one in this design as well. And of course, when things get ugly in Philly, I've got this hat ready, because that's what this hat is for when things get ugly. There's the other design I have a ton of hats in. And reverse retro, of course I did, because why not? And it's an orange Flyers, and it's a lot of orange with Flyers. So yeah, there you go. It is tough though to find ones that are really fun, because again, the logo never really changes and the designs are all pretty similar generally, other than your garish ones, of course. Pittsburgh. All right, so Pittsburgh, I've shown this design with some of the ones in the first video I did on this. I like it. Again, with the gray in there, it means it matches almost anything. This is a sad story. So this logo, of course, one of the classics, it's flat brimmed, which is part of the reason it's sad, but there's a crease right here. It doesn't show up on the camera very well, but it's there, and it's one of those things that just kind of drives me crazy. And with flat brimmed hats, they don't really have the give that a lot of the other ones do. So they crease more easily. It is tough to find a blue Pittsburgh Penguins hat that doesn't look ugly. This is as close as you get that I've found. There are some I've seen on eBay, but they're really expensive, so no thanks. This, of course, yellow. You gotta have yellow because Pittsburgh, they do yellow jerseys regularly. This year's reverse retro appears to be yellow as well. Speaking of which, this is from the reverse retro they had the first time around. You have the word mark. Matches a few jerseys, and because it's predominantly white, you can make it match almost any of them, because they very rarely do anything that's not in that color scheme. So Pittsburgh, I'd like to see some more blue. I don't think it's going to happen. San Jose. So San Jose, similar design to when they started out, same color scheme and all that. Again, I like these ones. These ones, of course, you have the name over top of the hat, San Jose, all that fun stuff. And, well, the name of the city. And then this one I like because it's the whole body of the shark. And there are people who don't like the whole body of the shark. I do. I think it's a nice look. This one I got recently from 47. This is, of course, your reverse retro. Got a lot of the reverse retro hats. I'm not planning on it this time because a lot of the hats this time around will have similar looks to the last time around. This is, again, it's an Adidas throwback to match the Adidas Team Classic that they put out of this design. Thus the three stripes Adidas. And you can see that's the original Sharks logo right there. And another one of those ugly ones that, again, and I'll show you guys the back because I think the back is just, it's fun. Is it loud and garish? Yes, but sometimes I can be too. To continue the three-striped Adidas look, there's Seattle. Now with Seattle, I have a lot of hats because I don't have very many jerseys. I did get the main logo on a light blue background as well, blue-green. I love the secondary logo for Seattle. I'm anxious to see that on the front of a jersey at some point. This one here, the word mark look, I like wearing that one too. And then the Hockey Fights Cancer one that I have here. I also have the Hockey Fights Cancer jersey to match that. And I like the Seattle logo quite a bit with that. And I think it works. So I don't have a lot of the Hockey Fights Cancer hats, but I did get it for Seattle. So with St. Louis, this is weird, right? So this is a Zephyr hat. What's interesting with these hats, so you see the shoelaces? Yeah, the laces are actually on the inside of the hat. I cannot describe how uncomfortable that is. I don't know who designed it. I had to buy it because it was $5 online. I showed the listing to my wife, and she said, that is so ugly. And I'm like, yeah, I got to get it. So I had to, because I had to see just what an interesting idea this is. And the inside of the hat's not very... It's just nothing about this hat's comfortable. That's why you won't see it in the video. Plus, good luck telling what logo that is from a distance. Unless you can see the side, but from the front. Yeah, anyways, moving on. There's a reverse retro hat for St. Louis. Really like the red. I know that there's other Blues fans that don't like the red, but I do. I apologize. This is the Winter Classic hat from last year. And I like this one too because it matches some of their classic jerseys that I have. There's a hat in yellow for St. Louis. Again, this is where it's got the city name over the top. And then a Stanley Cup Champions hat. Because these hats will usually go on sale for dirt cheap within, I would say, 3 months at the start of the season. You see those Stanley Cup winning items, whether it's hats, whether it's t-shirts, whether it's patches, whatever it is, the price comes down. So there you go, 2019 Stanley Cup champions. Part of the reason I ordered this is because there were a lot of people who said, well, he's clearly really mad that the Bruins lost to St. Louis. No, I wasn't. I wasn't mad at all. So with Tampa Bay, we're looking at, again, that design with the logo on the corner there. Also, Stanley Cup champions 2021. I like having these. One of the reasons, too, is because, you know, I think back to when I watched hockey in the 90s and the early 2000s and whatnot. I wish I'd gotten hats for those Stanley Cup champions. I think that would have been cool. And then I'd have, you know, the ability to do a video on here's all the hats for Stanley Cup champions. And I've been collecting those over the last few years. So see, eventually, once I'm in my 80s, I'll have quite the collection. This one I like quite a bit. I like the gray. I do. I think while it's simple, and it is a Fanatics, it is simple, but I like it. It's a little different because of the gray backing on it. I like that. Bolts, because bolts reasons. It's just, I was like, well, I have to get it because it's bolts. I got this one through 47. And the original Tampa Bay Lightning look. And again, when you see this splash, it's a hat I got from Hatland. Their website's easy enough to find. And yeah, pretty sharp overall. I don't know when I'm going to wear this hat, so I'm going to put this in this video because sure, of the 5 Toronto hats I grab, of course, there's one I don't wear in videos. I don't know when I would wear a purple Toronto hat, but I saw it and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll get a purple Toronto hat. Toronto Arenas or Aretnas, because it does spell Aretnas. Because you have to have an Aretnas hat, and it means I never have to buy an Aretnas hat again. St. Pat's, similar reason, but again, you've got that not very flexible, so watch for creases in these hats kind of material and the flat brim and all that. This is the reverse retro, which they put gray in because, sure, gray was a Toronto color sometime, I guess. And one of the more recent hats that I got here, which I got through the NHL site. And there you see Maple Leafs hockey and all that fun stuff. A really, really nice hat. And so you see that a lot in videos because I really like it. Now, with Vancouver, this is where limiting it to 5 makes a lot of sense. Because I know there were people who are like, well, I want to see the whole hat collection. No, you don't. You don't know what you're asking for, especially with Vancouver. So this is Vancouver Millionaires, which, of course, I don't wear a lot. Because did they win a game when they wore the Millionaires throwback? No. No, they did not. So I don't wear Millionaires often. Vancouver, this is the one with the really nice logo, the way it's set up. I have a bunch of these. Abbotsford Canucks, because of course I have Abbotsford Canucks with Johnny Canuck right there on the front. This is a hat that my wife got me the first year we were together. This was my Christmas present, and I've never seen this hat again. This is a Mitchell and Ness hat. Never seen it again. So, really like this one quite a bit. Mitchell and Ness really does do things a little bit differently than other companies. And this one here, again, Hatland, really, really sharp. I usually get people asking where I got this hat, and that's where I got it from. They have a couple of different looks for this design on there, so yeah. And they don't pay me for these plugs either. So down to Vegas. This hat I actually had at one point, and I lost it, so I had to go back to Vegas and find it again. That's not why we went back to Vegas. That's what I officially tell people. So, yeah, I had to get this one twice. It was worth it. I love the secondary logo. I know there's people that don't. I like it on red as well. So while we were down there, I found both, and I was like, why not both? I lived the meme, and I even posted a picture on Facebook of both hats next to each other, because when you go out and you're in this beautiful city with all this stuff to look at, take pictures of the hats that you bought. Yeah, I'm a good tourist. Sure, that works. Also, this one here, I kind of like because it's got the secondary there in the background. It's a minor detail. It doesn't show up great on camera, but it looks nice in person. The gold hat, of course. This one here actually has stone and 61 on the side there. So this one I got from Lids. Cost a couple bucks extra because it had already had the embroidery done on it, but that was fine. The gold hat is not as itchy as the jersey because they actually have a fabric on the inside that isn't itchy. So it's better than the jersey in that way. And another with the secondary in the front. But again, what's nice with gray hats, they match kind of everything. So it's a nice new with black, white, gray. Those are neutral colors. They should match almost everything. I say almost because I'm thinking about some stuff and going, well, there's some clashing you could have with these colors. So close, but I do like it a lot. And now we get to the caps. So Washington. Now, did I do this whole thing just so I could say caps? We'll never know. This one here, got from Hatland as well. Got a lot with this, the city name here and then the half logo here. None of them look good, but I like them because they're a little bit different, right? This one here looks absolutely fantastic. Same design as the New York Islanders one. This deserves to be on the front of a jersey. I don't know that it ever actually happens. This one here, of course, the original Screaming Eagle. You have to have that if you're going to be wearing Screaming Eagle jerseys because it's a different color than everything else they've worn. This, another one of those throwbacks that I got at Lids. Flat brim, you can see right there. I've actually had people say they're unsubscribing because of flat-brimmed hats. That's an actual thing that's happened. But this, is, of course, is their original logo. And there is the reverse retro with the Screaming Eagle on it that apparently is going to be on black this time around. So there you go. Washington, fun ones. Now we get to Winnipeg and round things out. So as we round things out with Winnipeg, we start with, I'm the only one that ever liked this logo, apparently. I do like this design quite a bit as well. One of the few designs that Fanatics has come out with that I've said, yeah, that works. The problem is, of course, price for hats now is like 40 bucks each, so I waited till it went on sale. This is the only Atlanta Thrashers hat I have. It does make me sad. I got this one on eBay, and the price they want for Atlanta stuff, and I get it because it's rare, it gets expensive, but I'd love to have more Atlanta hats. I have every Atlanta jersey in just the one hat. This one, I love this hat. Cannot say enough good things about this one. This one looks absolutely fantastic. Might be one of my favorites. Again, we're looking at a flat brim, which makes people unsubscribe, so I'll get away from that quickly. Uh-oh, it's another flat brim. This one, of course, the Jets design. You guys know what I'm going to say here, Hatland. And the original logo does look very nice, as does the one in between. Their logo now and the logo they had back then. I don't have anything with their current primary out of the 5 that I grabbed. Oh well, you guys see me wearing the current primary quite a bit. I don't wear these nearly as much, so I thought sure, and I had to have an Atlanta in there because I only have one Atlanta. It's sad. But that sadness set aside, there you go. You guys have had a look at my hat collection. 5 hats of every team in the National Hockey League, including me and looking at some that have moved. But there you go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. It's a fun thing to do. Way easier for me to do this with my hats than with all my jerseys because it'd take a while. But there you go. Let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.